Years ago, the largest Jewish armed resistance moved against the Nazi military. Yom HaShoah, or Holocaust Remembrance Day, marks the day of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. 6 million Jewish people died during the Holocaust. Those who survived and their families want to make sure that the horrors of that dark time in history are not forgotten, specifically so they're not repeated. Amanda Fay with that story tonight.
Yom HaShoah is to remind us about what happened in Germany in modern times.
Allen Markowicz is a second-generation Holocaust survivor. His mother and father, born in Poland, both survived unspeakable horrors.
As the Nazis conquered these countries, people from those countries willingly participated and joined the killing machines.
His mother, Ruth, survived by working. When the Nazis wanted to take her parents, she went in their place.
And she volunteered to work in their stead, thinking that they would survive in the ghetto. Ironically, they got killed by being in the ghetto as the whole ghetto was liquidated, and she survived as a slave laborer.
His father, Philip, and Uncle Henry ended up in Auschwitz. Markowicz says they realized if they didn't find a way to work, they would be gassed and cremated.
Even though they weren't chosen to work, they snuck onto work detail and were taken out to other concentration camps to work.
Though the stories may be hard to hear, Markowicz says they need to be told.
It stands out now as the largest genocide in history, and hopefully the lowest point in the history of civilization.
His family's story is one of millions and a warning from history.
But it wasn't done in some faraway corner of the globe by some primitive people, but it was perpetrated by Germany, which was arguably the leading country of civilization at that time.
Markowicz sees the parallels in the world today and hopes the reality of the past serves as a warning to the future.
We can see it now in the news. We see anti-Semitism rearing its ugly head. Something in the United States we thought was finished from the mid-60s. The Holocaust is an example of what can happen if that's left unchecked.
Amanda Fay, WTOL 11.
Markowicz says his parents actually met in that displaced persons camp, and he was born there. They found family in Toledo, got sponsored, and made their way to America when he was just a child. His dad worked at a factory and at the Jeep plant, and then opened Phil's TV and Appliance on West Sylvania Avenue, where it stood for 57 years before closing in 2012.